Hey guys, it's me. I'm back in my bed, back in the cozy corner for this video. I wanted to talk about social media. That fun little thing, you know. Um, Sorry also if like the camera moves. Like I said, this is literally on my bed. So every movement that I make, unfortunately, the camera moves with it. Sorry about that. But I'm gonna try to be still. But I wanted to talk about social media because social media is truly starting to become an actual problem. Sorry, that just did not look aesthetic, like the way it was like just laying there. Like, she's here. She's arrived at the party. But yeah, I wanted, guys, the Squishmallow obsession I went through like a few years ago was actually insane because look at how many I have now. That whole thing is filled with them. I also have a chair over there that has one. Then I have one on my bed. Insane. But anyway, yeah, social media, like, you know, when like a bunch of adults are like, oh, these kids are acting like this because of that damn phone. I would always be like, oh my god, y'all are actually lame as hell. Like, boomers. Literally, that's why that boomers meme started. Like, when everybody's like, okay, boomer. Like, that's literally why that started. But like now, I'm starting to see where they're coming from. Because now now that I'm getting older, I'm starting to, and as someone who's been on social media since I was, I don't even know, like in middle school, I think. I was really young when I got social media. And I honestly think it's ruined my life ever since. But let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Social media was that girl. Like, she was fun. Like, you could build community. You could reach a bunch of people that like maybe you don't see, like that you'll never see in person because they live across the country or something. Like, it was just a way to connect with other people without them actually having to physically be near you or around you, you know? And I think it was just a really great tool at first. And also it was great for activism, and like, because you can reach so many people and you can really make change with social media because of how many people you can reach. Basically, in conclusion, social media gives you the ability to reach a lot of people from all over the world, like anyone from anywhere, having some like online friendships and relationships if maybe it was harder for you to make friends in real life. Whatever your situation was, social media was perfect for building a community outside of where you immediately are and the people you're immediately around. But now I think it's starting to become more of a problem than a solution. So, and I wanted to talk about some of the things that social media is starting to affect and kind of make worse. And we're going to start with the number one big one, the first one that I think was pretty obvious from the start: insecurity. Now, insecurity, social media creates a lot of insecurity. I think everyone can agree on that. Like, you're constantly seeing people who are so beautiful. Like, everyone is gorgeous. Like, especially like on TikTok, like back to back, I just see beautiful people all the time. But that can start to make you feel bad about yourself because you're like, wow, everyone's so pretty and their bodies are so perfect. Their bodies are T. And we all know there is also a plastic surgery epidemic that's been going on. It's more common in girls, but everyone is doing it. They're enhancing their features surgically to look perfect and then create these unrealistic beauty standards for everyone else who can't afford plastic surgery. And that's a problem because especially when they're not disclosing it, and that was a whole situation itself. Like, I remember Kylie Jenner getting canceled multiple times because she literally got plastic surgery done and then did not say that she did. So she had all these young girls thinking that they could get her lips from putting on her little lip kits and blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. And there's no way for you to look like that. There's no way for you to have that perfect body. There's no way for you to be super skinny and then have a big bum and then be like so proportionally perfect, because it's not real. They don't even look like that. And also, videos, pictures, highly edited, has filters on it. Like, no one looks the way they look on social media in real life. Like, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Nobody does.
Don't know how I forgot to mention this in the video, but also it caused people to have EDs and have really bad relationships with food and with exercise and, you know, with body image overall, which obviously does not help us.
Or if very few people do. I guess I should say. Insecurity is definitely a top thing that social media has contributed to real bad. It creates these super unrealistic beauty standards for people, and it's gotten to a point where now people are starting to expect everyone to look like that. Be so, like, if anybody has any like unique features or just something about them that's different that doesn't fit into this little beauty standard that they have, they treat them so bad and they like bully them and they're so mean to them, and it's like, what the hell? Like, they don't even look like that naturally. It just creates this like really toxic cycle. And what you're gonna start to realize is all of these points that I make are gonna start to kind of tie in with each other. Like, for example, like I said, how people are starting to find just regular everyday beauty ugly now because they're so used to seeing people with filters and Botox and fillers that they don't eat, that they look at normal people and they're like, oh, they're busted. When in reality, they're not. Like, oh my god, they'll be like, chop shit. But it's like, in reality, they're not. They're not. They just have unique features. And they're not ugly or anything. They're still, like, they will actually be so stunning. And they'll be like, well, but you're ugly because you don't look like this Instagram model. Like, it's just so crazy to me. Like, that's the number one, I feel like. And the one that everyone, I feel like, can agree on, regardless. But like I said, when people don't fit a certain beauty standard, people start to hate on them. That brings me into my next point. Empathy. Social media makes people lack empathy so bad. It's not even funny. Like, it's like nowadays, it's gotten so bad that like people are just so freaking rude to everyone for no reason. Like, someone will like do something like wholesome or like just like show a part of their life. Like, it'll be such like a simple video and people will find a way to hate on it. Like for example, if the person doesn't fit the beauty standard that they have in their head, they bully them. If something is going well for somebody, they bully them. If something is going not good for somebody, they bully them. Like, it's gotten so crazy. And this election really showed it. Girls and women, they were very upset by the result of the election because so many people, and it's not just women, all people of color, like Hispanics, black people, like Asians, like all Americans that are also people of color, and even people that aren't American that live here, like the immigrants, they're treated so bad now. And the things that are going to happen to them, like they're going to lose their rights, they're going to be deported. It's like it was a very bleak time at that point. And there were girls like literally just like sobbing online, like, damn, I cannot believe this many people voted for something that would do this to me and that would do this to other people. That's not right. And people would be in the comments literally being like, cry about it. Like, haha, scoreboard. Hello? What the hell are we talking about right now? Like, the amount of empathy that people have on social media is so slim. And it's crazy because there was a time where I feel like we were super empathetic. Like, back in 2020, when like the Black Lives Matter movement happened, people were so empathetic. People were really like starting to like ride for each other and really like stand up for each other. And it was like so beautiful to see, even though it was corny at times. Don't get me wrong. Some of y'all were like, it was actually getting to a point. But that did have positive effects. So many people were standing up against injustice, and it was like things were getting done because of how many people were talking about it. And it's just crazy to see how much we've like gone backwards, like how much we've regressed in such a short amount of time. Like, it's only been like 4 years since, like 4 or 5 years since then. And look at how it is now. Like, no one feels for each other. No one has empathy. No one, like, it's not only affecting celebrity, like, it's like, because I feel like at first people lacked empathy for celebrities mainly because like obviously they're celebrities, like they're rich, like there's so many, like they have money, they can solve their problems, which yes, that is a valid point to make, because yes, with more money you have more resources, you have money so you can go pay for a therapist and you can talk to a therapist and they can help you feel better mentally, which some people don't have that luxury of doing, and that sucks. And I get why some people say stuff like that. But on the other hand, like when the LA fires were happening and people were like, oh, I don't feel bad for these people because they're all rich. That's not true. There's a lot of working class people that live in LA that are just barely getting by. And now they've lost everything. And that fucking sucks. That sucks so bad. And even even the influencers and the celebrities, they don't have as much money as y'all think. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. They're not making as much as you think. Like, first of all, a lot of them have managers and they have like agents and stuff like that they have to pay back. They pay taxes the same way we pay taxes. Yes, they're still better off financially than the average person, but they are not making also as much as you think they are. So them losing everything, they take a hit. And that ties in with what I'm going to make a point about next, which is the entertainment industry in general. I feel like the entertainment industry, and a lot of actors have been openly talking about this now. Like, I think Maya Hawke talked about this at one point. The actress from One Day at a Time also made a TikTok video about this. But the entertainment industry in general is starting to take influencers and stuff over like actual talent. Like, they care more about how many followers these people have versus the actual talent that these people have. It's actually insane. And they care more about like what can sell and what can make them the most money possible over telling good stories. That's why they're making so many remakes now, because remakes are guaranteed to make money because people already know what they are. They already have existing fan bases. Now they would have to create new things, and that would be more of a risk, and it would risk them not making as much money. And that is why we're seeing so many remakes of things, because the entertainment industry doesn't want to take a chance on anybody. And because social media is so powerful now, and because it's so like, it's literally just so strong. Like, social media is so strong, it's gotten to a point where they don't even want to cast genuine talent or make genuinely good stories anymore and make new stories, because they don't know if they'll make that money back. Like, it's great. Like, everyone's so greedy. And social media is also a problem in that regard. The fourth thing is the lack of community. I feel like social media makes us more lonely. Like, Gen Z, I'm pretty sure right now, is the most lonely generation out of all the previous generations before us. We are the ones that have the least community. We have the least amount of friends, romantic partners. And I think that is literally because we spend so much time on social media and not as much time talking to each other. Like, I feel like and I'm guilty of this. I'm doing this at this time, and I started to realize it now. I'm like, oh, this probably isn't good.
Editing me here one more time to say also, I feel like social media created a bunch of icks too, which made us more picky about who we want to hang around with and who we want to date and stuff. So I feel like that also stops us from like talking to people in real life. Like, social media just made everything so much more like awkward and like weird and scary, and everybody has to be perfect or else you don't want to talk to them. It's like, and like with social media, because you have like all these dating apps you could just swipe through, there's so many different options that it's like now nobody wants to commit or settle down to one person. And it's, yeah.
I go to work, I come home, and I just watch YouTube, and I watch my little YouTubers, and I watch TV, I watch my Netflix, and I go to the gym and work out. I've started doing that now, and I really don't talk to anybody there either. Like, I just don't really step out of my comfort zone, and I don't really talk to anybody. And I think this really had a lot to do with the pandemic too, because I feel like the pandemic overall like really affected, it kind of messed up everything when you think about it. It messed us up financially, it messed us up like mentally, and now we are not as comfortable talking to each other because we spent so much time not seeing anybody and talking online, that I feel like that kind of is still in effect today, and people are scared to talk to each other because the real world is kind of sucky right now. I feel like we're using social media as like a distraction and like a fantasy land, but none of it's real.
None of it was real. It was all an illusion.
And that's going to get me into my next point: authenticity. social media has very little to no authenticity, believe it or not. A lot of these people that are flexing these lifestyles that they live, a lot of them aren't actually living like that in reality, mind you. And now it's gotten to a point, and this ties back into the empathy thing, whereas even if people are authentic on social media, there's a good chance they're going to get bullied for it because people don't like people being authentic. They'll be like, oh my god, everybody's so fake and everybody needs to be more authentic. But then when they actually are, then they're like, well, why are you complaining? Stop complaining. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. Like, the empathy is lacking heavy. And it's like, we can't even feel for each other anymore. And that really that sucks. That sucks. And I know it's hard to see like people online who are doing way better off than you in life complaining about things, but it's like, we need to like be able to hear people out, you know? So yeah, because at the end of the day, we're all people. We all feel things and we all have emotions, and I think we should give people the benefit of the doubt more. Not too much though, because some of y'all are actually freaking insane. But to conclude this, I just think that, and honestly, this is affecting Americans the most, I think, and that is because we are so, like, we live such individualistic lives, and we're such an individualistic society, like, and we have a very unhealthy work and home life balance. Like, Europe doesn't have this problem as much with social media because they overall, like, they don't live to work, they work to live. And the way we live here is the complete opposite, because you compare your life to someone on social media who's doing so much better than you, and you're like, damn, like, I'm not where I'm supposed to be in life. Like, these people are doing so much better than me. There are people younger than me that are living in these mansions and they're self-made millionaires or whatever. And what am I doing? We're constantly comparing ourselves to like the 1% of people. I honestly think social media is starting to be a little bit of a problem. And that's coming from someone who is literally using it all the time, every day, loves it down. It's so entertaining, but like, I do catch myself feeling bad about myself and feeling bad about my situations in life because of social media, because I'm constantly comparing myself to other people, and I think it just overall has a more negative effect on our minds now than a positive one like it used to. Like, I feel like at one point it was just like a fun little distraction because we're so individualistic that leads to narcissism, which leads to the lack of empathy. Like I said, everything is tying back together. Like, everything's tying back together, and it's all stemming from social media. So yeah, in conclusion, I don't know what to do about this. I'm gonna try to be off social media. Like, I'm gonna try to not like consume as much social media content as I usually do. And you know what's funny? I've been watching like certain YouTubers, and they put time limits on the social media apps and stuff, and they're not on them as much, and it improved their health or their mental health. And I was always like, bro, you're so full of shit. Like, nobody cares, you're lame. Nobody cares that you watch less TV. But like, now I'm starting to understand where they're coming from, because yeah, it really is that damn phone. It really is that damn social media. It really is that TikTok. Like, damn. But yeah, so I don't really know how to like conclude this. I don't know like where to, like, I don't know how we fix it. I don't know. I'd just say maybe just spend less time on social media, try to like get out there and mingle with actual people. And I feel like because of the lack of, I'm going to talk about the lack of empathy thing again one more time, just because I feel like the reason that's happening is because people are not seeing in real time how what they're saying is hurting someone else. Like, they're not watching, because in reality, would you go up to someone and say the things that you'd be saying in these comment sections? Would you say that to a person in real life? A random person that you don't know, mind you? Would you just go attack them for their looks or for what they say or for what they do? And would you do that in real life? Would you walk up to somebody and do that? No, you would not, because you would not want to face the repercussions of seeing their face and seeing how you affected them. So why are you doing it on social media? Like, you're weird, you're a freak. And even I might have been guilty of this at one point. Like, I probably have been. I think everyone has been, because, you know, you do get so, like, sometimes you do genuinely get so sucked into social media. Try to understand other people's situations and hear other people out. I found myself lacking empathy big time, especially recently. And it's especially because my mental health is so bad that I'm like, it's hard to spread kindness when you feel so mentally drained and you feel so shitty. I get it. It's hard. And that's how we all feel. And that's why we all are giving into this, but we need to rise above. There's so much hate in this world. What did Demi Lovato say?
There's so much hate in this world. We have to rise above.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This is so ghetto. I literally have my microphone that is probably so janky. And I literally have it connected to a nail file. Anyway, if you saw this, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much. Clearly you like me a little bit, so maybe you should subscribe. Hit that little like button if you want. It helps me out. And yeah. Thanks. Be kind. Be kumbaya. But also, being a hater isn't that horrible too, because it got Kendrick Lamar freaking 5 Grammys and a Super Bowl performance. So shit, I don't know, girl. It's that damn phone. Bye.